This is the solution for Lab 4, Part 1, where you will create a Facebook Messenger bot and connect it to the What's on Conversation service. To start off with, you need to register as a developer on Facebook. For this, you need to create a token. This can be whatever you want. Here is an example, but please use something more secure than this and keep it to yourself. Go to developers.facebook.com/docs/messenger-platform. Click on Getting Started, App Setup under Getting Started, and then go to Facebook for Developers. Click on Get Started at the top. If you're already registered, here you can add a new app. If you aren't registered, you need to authorise your Facebook account first. So click on Next and enter your phone number. Follow the security steps and enter the confirmation code that will have been sent to you. Create your first application and check that the email address is correct. Follow the security steps and then skip the next step. Close this box and then go to Tools and Support. Click My Apps and then create a new app ID by entering the display name. Again, check the email address is correct and then click Create App ID. Then complete the security check. Once the app is created, go to the Messenger icon and click on Setup. Under Token Generation, you can select an existing Facebook page or create a new one. I don't have an existing page, so we'll create a new one for this demo. Pause or Community is the most applicable option. Now to enter a unique page name, which is easier said than done. If you intend on keeping the page, you might want to add photos in the description, but if you are creating it purely for a demo, skip these steps. Skip the tutorials and go straight to Options. Then click View as Page Visitor. On this page, you get the option to send a message to the page. Click on this button and keep the chat window open. Go back to the Facebook Developers tab and refresh the page. Under Token Generation, add the Facebook page that you just created and follow the authentication steps to grant permission to your public profile. When the box closes, a page access token is generated. Copy the token to the clipboard and paste it into the Word editor as it will be used later. You are now ready to create the webhook that will allow your Node application to listen into the chat on Facebook Messenger. Scroll down the page to find the webhook section. Click on Set up webhooks and complete the new page subscription. You need to enter a callback URL, so for this, go to your Node application and copy the URL. On your Facebook page, paste in the URL and replace everything after bluemix.net with /mybot. You then need to enter a token which can be verified in Node-RED at a later stage. So paste in the secure token that you created right at the start of this lab. This is not the one that Facebook generated for you. Select messages in the subscription field and then click Verify and Save. You will get an error. This is to be expected because the URL, mybot, doesn't exist yet. So go back to Node-RED and create a new flow. Call it something like Messenger Webhooks and click Done. On the flow, add in a HTTP in node, a HTTP response node, a function node, and a debug node. Connect them together like so, and then double-click the HTTP in node. The method should be a GET, and the URL needs to match the one that you just created when you set up your webhook. So /mybot. Name the node something like Messenger Verification Webhook and click Done. Edit the function node and paste in the code from the steps. The script verifies that the incoming request is a verified token request. It checks that the token sent is what it is expecting. The script then sets message.payload to the challenge sent by Facebook Messenger to verify that the subscription was accepted. In here, you need to paste in the token that you created at the start of this lab into line 17. When you are finished, click Done and deploy the changes. Go back to the Facebook developer page and then click Verify and Save. If all is well, the window should close. However, in my case, I still have an error, which is a HTTPS error. I've fallen into the trap of not having Node-RED running on HTTPS. So I'll go back into Node-RED and change this. Now it's asking me to log back into Node-RED. However, the URL that I copied into the Facebook developer page was HTTP, so I need to change that back to HTTPS. Now I can verify and save. You should then see a complete message on the page. In the webhooks section, select your Facebook page and subscribe to it. You should then see the option to unsubscribe. So now you are ready to create the Facebook listener. Go back to Node-RED and add onto the canvas a HTTP in node, HTTP out node, function node, and 2 debug nodes. Wire them together like so, and then edit the HTTP in node. This time, the method should be a post, so when the Facebook API sends information from the Messenger window, it's a post request. The URL needs to be the same as the other HTTP in node, so now we're looking for post requests on the /mybot URL rather than get requests. Then call the node messenger chat listener, so edit the function node and call it look for messengers and paste in the code from the steps. This code retrieves everything that comes through the post request, such as the time of request and content of the request. The code processes the request to make it cleaner and eventually sends the specific bit that you want into the chatbot. Edit the debug node after the function node and call it messaging event from Messenger and change output to messaging event. This was set in the function node and should pick up messages sent to your Facebook page. Deploy your changes and go back to Facebook. Send a test message in the chat window with your Facebook page. Back in Node-RED, check the Debug tab and find a messaging event debug node output. Here you will see your message, so you know the listener is working. For the next part of the flow, which is to be able to respond to the user, you need to add in another community node, this time a Facebook Messenger node. So go to the Node-RED library at flows.node-red.org and search for Messenger. Copy the name of the node, and in Node-RED go to Options and Manage Palette. Paste in the node name in the Install tab and install the node. Click Close when it is finished. Now, on the Look for Messengers function node, I should have changed the outputs to 2, so I'm just going back in and changing that. I'm also going to move the HTTP out node to the second output. Add onto the canvas another function node, the newly installed Facebook Messenger node, and debug node. Edit the new function node and paste in the code from the steps. This code sets the Facebook event property, which the Facebook listener writer listens out for, to equal the messaging event that you set up in the previous function. It sets the message.payload to "Hello, this is all I say for now," which will be the return message in the Facebook chat window. Now, edit the Facebook Messenger node. Call it Facebook Messenger Writer, and in here you need to paste in the access token that Facebook created for you. Deploy your app and then head back to Facebook. Send another message in the chat window and wait for the response, which should be, "Hello, this is all I say for now." This means that the Facebook Writer is working, so now you have an app that receives and responds to messages on Facebook. The next step is to connect the Facebook Writer with the chatbot, so name the second function node to Setup Response and move this, the Messenger node and the Debug node below to create a separate flow. Add in a new function node and a new link out node. Put them after the Look for Messages function, like so. In the new function node, paste in the code from the steps. This code sets the app up appropriately for the conversation flow. The payload is the messaging event.text, so it just picks up the string that comes in from Messenger rather than the full request, such as the time and date. Click Done when you're finished. Edit the link out node and call it Text from Messenger. Link this to the only unnamed node on the OK Watson flow. Now go over to the OK Watson flow. Add in a function node and a linking node onto the canvas. Paste in the code from the steps into the new function node, and remember to change the number of outputs to 2. Edit the linking node and call it Conversation Out for Facebook Messenger. Move the function node near to the conversation flow. I'm just going to edit the function node and call it Check for Messenger Input. Move the linking node and connect it to the second output of the new function node. Connect the first output to the text-to-speech node and delete the old connection between set payload and tweet and the text-to-speech node. Finally, connect the two function nodes together. Back on the Messenger webhooks flow, add a linking node before the setup response function. Edit the linking node and call it Writer Output, connecting it to Conversation Out for Facebook Messenger. Connect this node to the function node. The final thing to do for this step is to remove the automatic reply of "Hello, this is all I say for now," so that the message flow can go through to Watson conversation. So edit the setup response function node and remove the second line. Click Done and then deploy the app. Back in Facebook, you should be able to have a conversation with the chatbot. This completes the solution for Lab 4, Part 1, where you have added a pre-built chatbot into Watson Conversation, created a Facebook Messenger bot, and connected it to the Watson Conversation service.